Let's make some yummy lemon loaf cake. First, I'm going to show you all the ingredients that go into this lemon cake loaf. Okay, I've got some, it's all melty. I put it in the microwave just a little bit. So it doesn't look real pretty, but that's 1 stick of butter. So a 1/2 cup of room temperature salted butter, 1 1/4 cups of granulated sugar, 3 eggs, 1/3 cup of milk, 1/3 cup of sour cream, vanilla, lemon extract, lemon juice, baking powder, salt, 1 3/4 cup of flour, and then I have about 5 lemons that I'm going to zest. I'll show you that when the time comes. I wanted to mention too that I use a regular bread loaf, and this recipe here is a little bit, it has a little bit extra, and when I fill this whole pan it will overflow. So I'm going to make a regular size and then a mini size, and that comes out just right. I'll show you that when we get to it. So I have the butter in the mixer, and I'm going to slowly add a little bit of sugar. I'm going to alternate ingredients. Okay, and add an egg. Oop. A little more sugar. Another egg. I'm going to stop it for just a second. Scrape the bowl just a bit. And add the rest of the sugar. And the last egg. Blend that up real good for probably about 1 minute. Okay, my sugar, eggs, and butter are all blended up. They're, show ya, nice and creamy and fluffy. Now I'm going to add about 3 teaspoons of vanilla. Why so much? Because it makes it taste good. Makes it taste yummy. And then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. This is fresh. I just squeezed this last night. Mix that all in. You're gonna love this bread. It is so good. Well, actually it's more of a cake. It's called a lemon loaf. It's similar to the Starbucks recipe, but I changed a few things around. Calls for Greek yogurt, but I use sour cream. Sour cream is good in like zucchini bread, or I don't know, anything you bake, cookies. It just makes them soft and really, really good. Okay, next I am adding 1 teaspoon of lemon extract. And my 1 1/3 cup of, or sorry, not 1 1/3, just 1/3. 1/3 cup of sour cream. I have all this planned out, and boy, when that camera comes on, it's like deer in the headlight. Oh, getting better though. Okay. Mix all that up. Probably about 30 seconds. Okay, it's time for the dry ingredients. So I have 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour in here. And I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then 1 heaping teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm not going to totally level it off, just like that. Another little tip my grandma taught me when you're using baking powder. And a little bit extra is always good in cookies too. Whisk that together real good. I'm ready to add the flour mixture to the cream mixture. So once again, I have 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 heaping teaspoon of baking powder in here. I'm gonna add this slowly, alternate it with the milk. And this is whole milk. I find that works best. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little bit of the milk. So I'm going to alternate these two ingredients until they're all in there. A little more milk. Stop it and scrape the sides down just a little bit. Be sure to always do this when you're using a KitchenAid. It's supposed to get it all, but mine doesn't. And just to be safe, I scrape it down real good, even on the bottom. Sometimes the bottom gets left behind and there's still stuff down there. Okay, add the rest of the flour. And the rest of the milk. I'm gonna let that whip up for probably about 1 minute. The last step before putting the batter in the pans, I have some clean lemons. I have scrubbed and washed them really good. And I'm going to zest all 5. This will take a little while because I need about 3 tablespoons. Like I've told you before in other videos, when you get down to the white, stop zesting because it's bitter. So I'm going to get these all zested and then add the zest to the cream or the batter here. I have my lemons all zested. I zested all 5 of them, and I have told you this before, you cannot beat fresh. I always zest and juice my own lemons. You can buy lemon juice in the store, and you can also buy lemon zest in a paste, but can't beat fresh. So now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of lemon zest. It looks like I'm gonna have a little bit left over. So I'm just going to put it in a little covered container and stick it in the fridge for something else. I'll have to think of something else to make with my leftover lemon zest. I'm gonna get my paddle, beat that up for about whip it good for like 30 seconds. I'm ready to put the batter in the pans. So like I said, I have 1 regular size bread pan and then a mini. And I'm gonna spray it real good with my Magic Baker's Joy. You'll wanna be generous with the spray. Some people like to use parchment paper. Me, I find it just as easy to spray my pans, and comes out just as easy with this. So fill that up, not quite 1/4 full. Make sure, there we go. Have my baby pan. Gonna fill these up and then put them in the oven at 350 for 50 minutes, 50. Be right back. While the lemon cake is baking, I'm going to make a simple syrup, and this will go directly onto the bread right when I take it out from the oven. And what it calls for is 1/4 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of water. Really again. I've had to stop my video numerous times because he's been barking. I'm not doing it anymore today. Let him bark. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I'm going to whisk this all together. Where did my whisk go? Anyway, whisk that all together, heat it up, bring it to a small boil until the sugar melts, and we will put that on top of the cake when it's done. I have my simple syrup made. I'm just going to set that aside. Now I'm going to make the glaze that goes on top of the simple syrup after it's spread on top of the cake. And this is just a nice little finishing touch for that yummy cake. So I have 1 cup of powdered sugar. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of milk and 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. Whisk this together real well. Okay, once this is blended together really, really good, I'm going to set it aside, and I will be back when the cake is done. The cake is all done, fresh out of the oven. I baked it for 50 minutes at 350. Turned out beautiful. So now I'm going to take the simple syrup and just spread this across the loaves. This will just caramelize it a little bit. It adds a little pizzazz, makes it really, really good. So we're going to let that sit for a little bit. And when it is completely cooled and set up, I'll come back and take them out of the pans and add the glaze. Okay, the bread is totally cooled down, and I'm just going to garnish both loaves of bread or cake, lemon cake, with this glaze that I made. A little more over here. Probably run off the sides a little bit. Oh, that's so good. And I think I'm going to come back and garnish this with just a little powdered sugar to make it look prettier. There we go. Oh, that turned out so pretty. We're going to make it prettier. I'm just going to take this powdered sugar that I have in a sieve and just sprinkle a little bit on. Just add some final touches. There we go. Ta-da! Oh my goodness, so pretty. There is the lemon loaf bread. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today, and I hope you go make some. It's also Valentine's Day, and I made this for my family for Valentine's. I hope y'all are having a wonderful Valentine's Day, and I'll be back soon with another recipe. Not sure what, but I'll be back. Love you all. Mwah. See you soon. Bye-bye.